Most common lip filler on the market today is hyaluronic acid, and hyaluronic acid is naturally found in the body. So this means it breaks down naturally and it's actually reversible, and that's really what you want. So when you have to come back for your lip filler top up, definitely consider this a really positive thing. Okay, so lip fillers are great for thin lips, so they can definitely restore lost volume, but they can also create volume that wasn't there in the first place. They're great for, creating shape. You can enhance your cupid's bow, enhance your philtrum, and just create overall a really nice shape to the lips. Okay, so this is definitely a big thing. A lot of you might know, so when a female reaches 14, that's when they have, this is like the main thickness of the lips. It remains like this until you're about 18, and then it starts to decrease and the bottom lip will slightly increase. But in males, it can be until when they reach 16, that's when they have their full thickness of the lips. It starts to decrease and then the bottom lip slightly increases. So really the lip fillers can restore that lost volume and just give clients a little bit of extra confidence. Okay, so definitely ballpark about 4 to 6 months. Now this does vary from client to client. So there's a few factors to consider: the product that was used, how your body reacts to the product. Someone with a quick metabolism definitely breaks the product down a lot quicker. Then lifestyle and exercise definitely have to be taken into consideration as well. So if you partake in high intensity exercise, this will definitely break the product down that little bit quicker. Going on sun holidays, saunas, heat treatments, they'll definitely break down the product a little quicker as well. So we'll say 4 to 6 months. Some people say a little bit longer, but it really is client specific. Okay, so the first question I'd ask here is, when was the last time you had them done? And the second question would be, what product did you use? I definitely urge to ask your practitioner what product they are using, because at the end of the day, this is your lips, this is going into your body, and you want to make sure this is reversible and the product does break down naturally. So if it's the same product that I used, you can come 2 weeks later, and if it's a different product, you'll have to wait about 8 weeks. They can be slightly painful, but I definitely minimize this with topical numbing cream. So you might have heard topical numbing cream can naturally swell the lips. This is especially for numbing creams that have lidocaine in them. So they can make the lips kind of swell and they look uneven, and then that's not a true representation of the lips. The numbing cream that I use is completely natural. It numbs on the spot, and this is also a great benefit to the client because they're not sitting on the bed for 30 minutes waiting for the numbing cream to take effect. So prior to your appointment, definitely hydrate. Drinking plenty of water is definitely key, because hyaluronic acid holds 1,000 times more water than its weight. So definitely prior to the treatment, drink plenty of water, and the days after the treatment, drink plenty of water. And 10 days before the treatment, avoid taking aspirin, ibuprofen, fish oils, garlic supplements, and vitamin E, because they all thin the blood and they can actually contribute to swelling. Another thing I recommend to clients is to get arnica cream. So arnica cream or gel, pick it up at the pharmacy. This will save you having to run afterwards, and this can really help with bringing down any bruising or swelling after the treatment. If you're prone to getting cold sores, definitely take your medication 7 days prior to the treatment. Okay, so the day of the treatment, definitely eat 2 to 3 hours before the treatment, because we want to keep your blood sugars in check. Then when you come in, we'll go into the treatment room, we'll speak through the treatment, everything that we had spoken about in the consultation. Once you're okay and you're happy to go ahead, we can. So the treatment itself will take about 25 minutes. We'll put on the topical numbing cream and we can go straight into the treatment. When I'm finished the treatment and we're both happy, I will apply the arnica. This is really soothing and cooling for the client, and then I'll show you the final result. Well, the result straight after the treatment I'll show you, but it is really important to remember that this really isn't your final result. Your final result will definitely be in about 2 weeks' time, when you have when any swelling and bruising has gone down and the product has settled. So definitely, drink your water, hydrate. The results will continue to improve. 2 weeks later, that's what you will have, and that's what will last. Prior to the treatment and thereafter, you will have my full support. I'm also very adamant about this. Before the client leaves, I give them a fresh pot of Vaseline, unopened, and this is just really important because we don't want any infection. Also apply this with a cotton bud to avoid infection. Definitely avoid exercise for 24 to 48 hours after the treatment. Clients say to me, they're like, oh, I'll just, is yoga okay? It's really light, it's really easy, but I definitely don't advise it because it can actually increase blood flow and it can add to the swelling. Okay, definitely with the first treatment, it is when you come when you're going for your first treatment, be mindful that this is when the product is going to break down the quickest. So the first time you get it, the product will break down a lot faster, and then as well, it's important to remember that it's going to take more than one treatment to correct all your concerns. When you want to build volume in the lips, it's definitely better to build volume over a couple of months, over a few sessions, and this is where you're going to get a really lovely natural result. I only ever use 1 ml per sitting. This is 1 full syringe, and that is definitely enough to increase the volume and get a really nice shape. So when I examine a client's lips, I look at the overall shape, but definitely the first thing for me is symmetry. So asymmetrical lips is very, very common, and I think alone, if you do nothing else and you correct the symmetry of the lips, people look at you and they're like, oh wow, your lips are lovely, they're beautiful, because to the eye when something is symmetrical, it is really, really, really nice. Next thing we will look at is maybe enhancing the cupid's bow, adding a little bit of volume, and that's really all you need to do to create a natural, lovely lip. Okay, so again, the fillers that I use are hyaluronic acid based. Hyaluronic breaks down naturally in the body. So yes, you definitely will have to come back. My best advice would be, if you are really happy with what you have and you really want to just maintain it, don't wait until the product is broken down completely before you come back. So just keep an eye on it, and when you see that your lips are starting to slightly decrease, come in, I'll have a look at them and we can look at doing a top up. So definitely, normally it is every 4 to 6 months, but this does vary from client to client. So 0.5 ml will rejuvenate the lips by 3%, but there'll be no real increase in size. So this is great for a client who is really happy with the size of their lips already, but it just gives it just gives more of a hydrated look. 1 ml is definitely where you're going to see results, and that's what I always start with. So with 1 ml, you'll get an 8% increase in the lips, and that definitely is enough to create a nice natural looking lip. If a client is really adamant and they only want 0.5 ml in their lips, that is completely fine, and then you can use the other 0.5 ml to decrease smile lines or marionette lines or any dehydration. I use Princess hyaluronic acid filler, and because it's hyaluronic acid based, there's virtually no chance of getting an allergic reaction. Yes, there is some side effects after the treatment. There can be swelling, redness, itchiness, and bruising also isn't uncommon. So after the treatment, the lips might look slightly uneven, but this for about a few days to about 7 days at the most, definitely with the lips. Once the bruising goes down and the swelling goes down, that'll be when you can see the true representation of your results. So post-treatment, definitely apply your arnica cream or gel. This can be applied conjunction with your Vaseline. When you're using the arnica gel or the Vaseline, make sure it's unopened, it's a fresh new pot, because you want to avoid infection. Another great thing is to have individual ice packs in the freezer. Just take one out, wrap it in a fresh clean towel, and just pop it on the lips. Once that intensity, that cooling is gone, you're not going to get any more relief from it, so put it back in the freezer, and you can do this up to 3 times a day. Definitely as well, avoid touching the area for at least 12 hours. I know it can be very tempting, you've just had your lips done, you want to show everyone wants to have a look, can I feel them? But no, definitely avoid it for 12 hours because you want to avoid any infection and you don't want to displace the product. Apply makeup, definitely you can about 24 hours after the treatment. The next day after the treatment, you can apply light makeup, and then you can gently cleanse lips with a mild cleanser and water. They will probably just feel a slightly different while there's swelling and bruising, but once that reduces, the lips should feel completely normal. So definitely hydrate, drink plenty of water. because the more water you drink, the better. It'll expand the lips, it'll be more volume, and you're going to get really, really good results. If you like pineapple, it's really, really good because it has bromelain in it. This is a natural anti-inflammatory. Bromelain can actually also be picked up at the health food store. Elevate your head while you're sleeping. This can bring down any inflammation, and apply your arnica cream or gel to bring down any bruising or swelling. Okay, so this really varies from place to place. There's a few things to take into consideration. So the product that is used, your practitioner, their skill, their expertise, and also the country that you are getting it done in. So I use Princess. It is a really, really, really high quality product. It's really natural. It gives lovely, natural, smooth results that are long lasting, and it's £2.85 per ml. So if you have any more questions, you can leave a comment below, or you can email me at aoifebrowneaesthetics@gmail.com. Thanks for watching.